Leanne, page 1. August 11th, 2080. Ugh. I woke up this morning from another dream. Getting tired of these dreams. It's been 100 years of these stupid things. Today I'm 100 years old. Yay me. You'd think I'd stop dreaming after all these years, but no. I still look 40. Yes, we have the ability to change our looks and body, but I want to blend in. Besides, I've always been comfortable in my own skin. Even now, although my skin is chilled, I don't mind, and neither does my husband. Henry suggested that I start writing again. Maybe it'll calm my brain, as it did all those years ago. Being an overthinker sucks. Being a Nadaling sucks. What is a Nadaling? A Nadaling is a dead human basically. We can still eat and drink though we don't need to. We are very strong. Some Nadalings are beyond superhuman. We can see very well at night. Bullets don't harm us. Sun doesn't hurt us. Some are fast. Some can fly. There are more varieties of us than cats and dogs. How did we turn? We turned because of a disease. It spread worse than COVID and HIV. They called it NIDA 487. Most of the population contracted it in 2027. Henry and I were on the road as we had been for years truck driving. There was an accident. Horrible. 5-car pileup happened right in front of us. I got out of the truck with my first aid kit while Henry called 911. I pulled 3 people out of 2 cars by the time he came to help me. Blood was everywhere. We couldn't help the others, they were already dead. Lucky bastards. We pulled the 3rd out of his passenger seat. He had hit his head on the windshield. We should have been wearing gloves, but everything happened so fast. I applied pressure to his skull with gauze, but soon after he stopped breathing. I was about to start CPR when the ambulance arrived, and they took over. He still didn't make it. Out of the 4 we pulled, 2 survived. It was several hours before the road was cleared, and we could move on. We gave all the info and dash footage. Henry and I were covered in blood. When we stopped and went into the truck stop, people were concerned. But of course we had to explain and paid a little extra to shower. We ate and went to bed, but the next morning, when we woke up, things were much different. We had no pulse. Leanne, P.2. We woke up, everything was so different. We woke up late. Henry never sleeps in and usually wakes before I do. When I awoke that day, nothing hurt. I've hurt all my life. Being born with spinal stenosis of the L5, then getting into an accident later, and having to walk with canes. The colors I was seeing were spectacular. I could hear conversations even over the APU of the truck. It was cold outside, around 25 degrees, but we didn't feel it. The sensations we were feeling was beyond explanation. Henry kissed me, and it was the most erotic kiss I'd ever experienced. The same for him. Of course it led to us making love, which was just as erotic as the kiss. I suppose that's why we've stayed together all these years. Other couples that changed left each other. For some reason they stopped being compatible. I have a theory. Some couples got extremely scared when they discovered they died. Some didn't realize it until they were at work or the store. Wherever they were, they weren't anywhere near their spouse or mate. When Henry and I discovered what had happened, we consoled each other. That contact we had somehow bonded us even more so. Even the things that annoyed us was different. It changed the way our brains processes information, kinda making us more empathetic toward one another and other Nadalings. There are only 15% of humans left. They all live in 5 different locations. They are all afraid of us. I have a few family members in one of the cities. Henry's has some great-grandchildren in the same city. We can have some contact with them, but we must go through a screening before seeing them. It's a pain in the ass and takes 2 months before we are permitted. Scientists still don't understand how it spread. Damn dummies. Henry and I both know we caught it through blood contact, but if that's true, then why did the person who infected us die? Maybe one day they will find the answer. Scientists don't understand a lot about us. They should, because they created it. Apparently it was meant for warfare. When they released it, they didn't expect it to travel throughout the whole planet. Dumbass. Now there isn't any wars. There's no need because we are all hard to kill. There are sanctions, gangs, and such. there are a few very evil Nadalings. Most are locked up in a prison, not much you can do with them. I'm not evil, so I can't explain their lives. Back to the scientists. Even though they are also Nadalings, they still can't figure out what happened. I know. You can't leave us hanging like this. I'm sorry. All I know is what I feel about myself. Maybe one day the actual truth will come out, but I doubt it. Government hasn't changed at all. It's still lies and bullcrap. There was a rumor going around about a facility somewhere that holds the first Nadalings, and they experiment on them, but again, who knows? Henry and I stopped driving when I was 97, so only a few years ago. He was 101. He wanted to travel, not like we hadn't before, but he wanted to actually explore places, and since I no longer felt pain and can walk without my canes, nothing was stopping us. In the last 3 years, we've claimed mountains. My favorite was swimming the ocean. Yes, I'd been before as a human, but as a Nadaling there is no holding your breath. We couldn't talk to each other while down on the seafloor, but we didn't need to. Henry and I know what each other are thinking. I know, weird. Anyway, while down there, we could see everything. We explored sunken boats, awed at the coral reefs, tickled the bellies of fish, played around with dolphins. That was my favorite. Henry and I were like a couple of kids again.